Hey, In Arms coaching community. I wanted to jump in and say hello and happy Wednesday. Is it hard for you guys to figure out what day it is if you're working from home? We're always like, what day is it? What are we doing? Anyway, I'm pretty sure it's Wednesday because I had my BNI meeting this morning, and that only happens on Wednesday. And I am in the second week of leading a 3-day retreat for the clients that I have in programs. Last week was a 3-day retreat for the mastermind program, and this week is the 3-day retreat for Biz Elementals. Of course, we're doing it virtually, but normally these happen in Maine and 3 times a year, and they're really, really delicious and filled with planning and strategizing and digging deep and looking at inner pieces and tools. If you're just coming in, say hi in the chat box and let me know you're there. But I really love our 3-day retreats because whether they're virtual or in person, because they're an opportunity for me to lead clients in a deeper exploration of both what they want for themselves in their business, but also what's keeping them stuck. And I think that some of the ways that we discern those pieces are a little bit unlike other business programs out there. So I wanted to take you a little bit behind the scenes because I had one of those moments this morning where like I was leading the retreat, but I also got to kind of like come outside of my, hello, Tanya, come outside of my head and like see what we were doing and what the women were taking from it. And one of the things that we were talking about this morning, one of my clients was saying that, she really gets the I call it having one foot on the gas with the emergency brake engaged. And that's a way that I describe the concept of divided will, which is taken from one of the women who I really idolize and love and learn a lot from, Carolyn Elliott, who's the owner of Witch, and teaches a number of really great courses that all deal with divided will and how to use magic in your business, not just in your business, in your personal life. But we were talking about divided will, being at this place in your business where you have one foot on the gas, but the emergency brake is engaged. You may see it, you may not see it. You just might wonder why you can only go 5 miles an hour when you've got your, the pedal to the metal. And one of the clients in the program was saying that, she realizes that while on the foot on the gas is her standing up and saying, this is me, this is who I am, this is the magic I bring to the world, this is what I want. But then the emergency brake is that it's really scary to stand up often and be visible and say, this is what I want, this is what I can do, this is how and where I'm an expert. And this is why you need to work with me if you're this person. And so what happens is that because we're saying that we want visibility, success, more clients, whatever it is that you want, but it's scary also to claim visibility. It's scary to kind of like, standing up for who you are and what you want to do in the world and being really visible can be like baring your throat to the world. And what happens is that if you're not aware of where your will is divided, then you get to that place where you're like, why am I always procrastinating? Or I'm so distracted that I can't focus and really get clear and move forward. Or I'm running in different directions. Or I'm, falling prey to like crow syndrome, where it's just one shiny, bright object after another. And what happens generally whenever I have clients that are struggling and stuck or on a hamster wheel or unable to focus or really looking, at how they're kind of feeling like they're treading water all the time in their business, is that there is divided will around what's uncomfortable or scary about actually being visible. And this is something that I particularly wanted to bring to you because I think that fear and discomfort around being visible is something that makes women business owners unique from male business owners. This is not something that I commonly hear male business owners struggling with, this fear of being visible. But the fact of the matter is that no matter where in this world you're a woman or what kind of family or ethnic background or religious background you grew up in, you have a reason to be uncomfortable being visible. Maybe it's really simple and small, like you were told not to boast as a little girl, or, you raised your hand in class and the teacher said, let's call on someone else for a change. Or, you were told not to intimidate people. And maybe it's something big, like you were visible and seen and you were attacked. or you were picked on, or you were bullied, or you were the victim of verbal or physical or sexual harassment or assault for being visible. We have baggage around visibility. And yet, our businesses, our livelihoods require us, demand that we be visible so that we can be found amid the din of the world, of the, whatever market you're in. It's oversaturated right now. I can pretty much guarantee that. So in order to stand out, you have to be visible. You have to be setting yourself apart from other people. You have to be authentic. You have to show what's unique about who you are and what you bring to the world. But for many of us, that can be really uncomfortable and that can be really scary. And it's not always even that easy to see. So we were diving into some of the women's goals this morning. This is day 2 of the 3-day retreat for Biz Elementals. So we were diving into what it is that they really want in the next year, what their goals are, what their kind of request is of the universe. But we were also looking at the same time as they're getting really clear about what they want, what are the pieces that are scary about that? What are the pieces that are stopping them? If you say you want to, profit 100,000 more in the coming year, and that's what you're strategizing for and working for, and sort of all systems go towards that, you also have to acknowledge what would be really terrifying about profiting 100,000 more this year. Are you upset about paying more taxes? Are you worried that the more money you make, the more vulnerable you are to, getting in trouble with the IRS or getting audited? Are you afraid or uncomfortable with the idea of making more money because there are people in your family who might expect more from you, and that will be uncomfortable from a boundaries point of view? Are you uncomfortable with making more money because your friends right now are having a really hard time? And what would that say about you if you all of a sudden just started like killing it financially and really building stability? So see how that's the one foot that's the emergency brake engaged, even as you're pumping that gas pedal down to the floor. So one of the tools that we use in my business programs is alternative ways of accessing your wisdom and what you know to be true. So I can ask you a question and you can write out the answer and we can discuss it and probe it. But there are other ways of getting access to that information in ways that really complement this kind of deep digging into who you are and what you want and how that will might be divided. And one of the ways that we use is frequent breakout periods for women to consult a divination deck. It might be the tarot, it might be a deck of oracle cards or runes, or even working with a pendulum. But all through our 3-day retreats, I give women time to go inwards and actually tap the wisdom that they might not have day-to-day access around or to. And those just result in the most, like every single time we've done this in the last 2 days, the women have come back and just been like, oh my gosh, this is so perfect. This explains so much. This is so relevant and meaningful. And it's like, none of it is like brand new news. It's not like, from where I come from, the way that I learned to use divination tools, you don't ask like for the winning lotto numbers. You ask things that you want a perspective on from within yourself and maybe from your guides if you work that way. So none of this was like brand new information for women, but it was a brand new perspective and a deeper level of information about their goals, about the places they're getting stuck, about the places they're sabotaging themselves and their business so that they can really move forward without drag. Because all of these women are moving forward. It's like, do you want to drag 50 pounds of crap behind you as you climb a mountain? Or do you want to like maybe have the wind at your back? That's the difference between, for me, and I think for my clients in working with other opportunities and out of the box ways to access your wisdom and what you know to be true. So I just wanted to bring you into those two pieces, one around really looking at where visibility is frightening for you in terms of what you say you want, in terms of what you're working for right now. And then also just the the options for different ways of accessing your wisdom. This is one of the things that I really love about the Biz Elementals program. You know, we do the hardcore strategizing and planning and masterminding and marketing stuff, but we also do the accessing of your inner wisdom and your intuition as a way to guide you to the right ways for you to be working on those pieces. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. I hope it's helpful. Feel free to pop a hello or any comments in the box and let me know if this resonates for you, if you work with intuition in your business, if this is something that would be interesting for you. We also have, I'm going to be doing a new moon live on Friday evening, where we'll be looking at some of the ways to work with the cycles of the moon in your business, which is sort of another way of doing similar work, and having that wind at your back as you climb the mountain. Anywho, I'm about to go back to the retreat. Thank you so much for tuning in, and have a great rest of your day.